This is a very important topic that most people just brush over, but it's really going to help you connect to your clients in the future. And that is having personal presence in everything that you do on Upwork. We're going to take a look at some examples among the freelancers that are on Upwork and take a look at some tips that can help us be more present in our work that we do on Upwork. Let's search for a talent. I searched for writer on the Upwork talent board, and I'm greeted with many freelancers that offer writing services. Now, what I mean by personalizing your profiles is basically being visible as a person when a client looks at you. So we talked about profile pictures and how important they are. And what we want to make sure is that immediately when the client looks at us, we are a approachable person and our profile looks approachable. So let's take a look at the first element, which is your profile picture. Like we said, you want to make sure that you're either laughing or smiling in your image, and that immediately makes you more approachable. Now, the photos that you want to put on Upwork are meant to show you to the client, basically your face. So you want to stay away from photos where you're just not immediately visible in this tiny circle. When we scroll down, for example, this person, she's way too far away from the camera and I cannot really see her. And this kind of gets in the way of me getting to know this person. But on the other hand, this person, we can clearly see the headshot and it's like I've met this person in real life because everything is clear. I can see his name. And another example is when the lighting is bad and you can't really see the person. So the profile picture really helps with your presence in your profile. You want to stay away from images that have bad lighting, images where you're too far away, and images where you just look really serious and not approachable. So let's find a good image right here. You can see this is a good image. She's clearly visible. She's smiling. That makes her approachable. The lighting is good. Immediately, I can connect to this freelancer because she's right there on her profile. And it's like I'm meeting her in real life. So the first thing you want to make sure is perfect is your profile picture because like we said, it's the first thing that people will see when they're looking for a certain service. So number one is your profile picture. Number two is your name. You want to make sure that you're putting your full name there. And of course, what you do as your headline. We already talked about the headline, but your name is also very important. If it's possible, put your full name. It's really going to help again with the client getting to know you. And they can immediately connect with you by using your full name instead of letters. So if I wanted to connect to this person, I cannot say Dear AKM Parvez Edge. It would be better if it was Dear Margaret Virima instead of Dear AKM Parvez Edge. So this way the client can address you better and it's just more approachable because once you have a name like this, the client doesn't know what they should call you. So try to put your full name in there. Let's try to go to this person who is the top rated writer right now. So when we scroll down, we can see that she has other experiences. We talked about how in here you want to put things like volunteering and other cases where you weren't working, but you contributed to a certain foundation or an event. So this right here is great for adding your presence on your profile. You're sharing an experience right here, and clients can get to know you more through these experiences. So these are not your work history. This is not your resume. You haven't worked for a company, but you contributed to certain organizations in either a volunteer form or another form. But your employment history is separate, so these are not the same. So if I wanted to get to know this person, I can come to other experiences and see that she was president of local writers group. So group of local writers. This is going to tell me that this person is a social person and she does works with other local writers, which can make her seem more approachable and generous. And this can help me in my future projects with this freelancer. So if you have any other experience other than your employment history, be sure to add it in, write a little story about what happened and how it came to be. This is going to make you more approachable and it's going to help out your profile. Now let's go to upwork.com/services where we can take a look at project catalogs of other freelancers. Let's see how people add their own personal presence on these projects and try to learn from them. Let's search for marketing. So when you're scrolling through all of these projects, the first thing that catches your attention is when a person is visible on that project cover. That's just the nature of humans. When we look at a screen, the first thing that catches our eye is another human. So right now, when I'm looking at all these graphics and all these colors, the person, there's one here as well, the person is what's standing out. Now, this person is using a photo of himself to promote his project and at the same time add personal presence to this project. So just by adding a photo of himself, I am attracted to this project because I can immediately relate to a human more than I can relate to these graphics. Of course, it would be better if you looked more approachable, maybe put a smile on your face and just look really optimistic. But putting your photo on the project cover is going to help you get noticed more. Now let's go on this person's project. There we go, we have the first photo. In the other slides, he's talking about his services, but the first one is what caught my attention. So try to put your image on your project cover. Let's go back in here and look for another type of work. Let's go for author. There we go, we have human faces. This is a video. It's really going to help grab my attention. So try your best to either put videos of people or pictures. Even if it's not you on the photo or the video, it's still best to put a human on your project cover rather than some paragraphs and random graphics. This is going to catch the attention of the clients more than this. So again, put humans on your project cover. And that will just work out better for you. You can see we got people in all these examples. Let's go in one of these. We have a video that is trying to convince us to get these packages. But again, you can see it's humans because that's going to be more relatable than if it were some sort of animation without any human touch. In the next slides, they're talking about their services. Maybe this is one of their books that they wrote, and it's just going to make them look more credible. Once we scroll down, he has a good profile picture. It looks professional. And of course, his description, like we said, starts with his services or some way to catch your attention. And then he starts to talk about himself. So always first state what you can do for the client and then start talking about yourself. We have a view portfolio right over here. So these are his portfolio items. And I can take a look at each one. Let's go to this fantasy novel. And we can see that he has done some writing jobs before. And once we view his profile, You can see he has some work history, completed job. We can also see which ones are in progress. This is a pretty solid profile. You can see certifications and all of that. So that's how you can add personal presence into your project catalogs, your proposals, and all the other things. The first impression is your profile picture, so try to focus on that. You can simply take one yourself with your phone. It doesn't have to be that high maintenance. But as long as you look approachable on your profile picture, the rest is rather easy. So after this lesson, take a look at your profile picture, see whether it's suitable. Are you laughing in that photo, smiling? Is the lighting good? Are you close enough to the camera? Once you've done that, take a look at your profile and the projects that you've submitted so far. See whether they have personal presence in them. If not, you can just edit them and add those things inside. So this is a very important step. Make sure to put enough time on it. And now let's move on to the next lesson.